Hello everyone. Hi, I am Prashant Nandam. Welcome back to our channel. As a part of our AWS Masterclass series, today we will see session 8, which is S3 bucket. We will see concepts of S3 bucket and a demo on that. I see most of the viewers are watching the videos but not subscribing. I would like to request you all to subscribe to our channel. I see most of the users are viewing the videos and not subscribing yet. It's taking me so much effort to create videos, so I request you all to subscribe to our channel for more DevOps videos. And let's begin. As I mentioned, today we will see S3 bucket, which is session 8 in our AWS Masterclass series. If you haven't watched our session 7 and the previous videos, I request you all to go through them for better understanding of AWS resources. Today in session 3, we will see introduction to S3 and what is object, what is bucket, and storage classes, and how to give access to the bucket and everything. Let's go to our readme file. I created a notes for the readme file which will help you to understand more. Now if you see S3, S3 is a simple storage service, which means it is an object storage. It's not like a volume or something. Like, we can say it as a object storage service which is provided by AWS services. And in this object service, it is not like you can store only files or images or something. Like, you can store anything in the S3 bucket, file storage or whatever it may be. You can store in the S3 and you can retrieve whenever you want. And it is a object storage, as I mentioned earlier, and it has unlimited storage and maximum of 5 TB. I believe 5 TB you can store, and then you can segregate into two individual parts and upload it to the S3. And the S3 bucket has 11 nines of durability, which is 99 point, then 11 nines, 999 goes on. And it is a pay as you go service. You pay for the storage and the request and the data transferred. And the key concept on this and the terminology which you need to remember are buckets. Remember, a bucket is a container for objects in S3. Okay, bucket is a container for object. We will see what is bucket in our demo. Just remember the terminology. And the bucket needs to have a globally unique name. If I say Prashant as my bucket name, there might be another Prashant which are using AWS services and they could have named their bucket as Prashant. So I won't be able to use Prashant name for my bucket. So it's to be globally unique. And then objects. Object is the actual data which you will be storing in the S3 bucket. Okay. And remember, object is the data which you will be actually storing in your S3 bucket. And each object contains of object data, which is your file content, and the metadata, which will be the key values pair about that object, and the key is like the path or full name inside that bucket. You can see here example as well. Regions are like as we mentioned earlier in our previous videos, regions is the provided in the AWS services, and we can choose the nearest region for our deployments or any other to avoid any latency. And this is important. Storage classes is very important. You should be aware of these concepts more. And S3 offers multiple storage classes. Okay, and they are like S3 standard, which is for frequently accessed data. There will be data like which you wanted to access frequently, and there might be some data which you won't be which is not required to access for months or years, and there might be some data which you want to delete after 30 days of usage. And some data might be like you may access it once or twice in a month or twice in a year. For those scenarios, you need to be aware of the storage classes. In the standard storage, S3 standard, we have frequently accessed data and it has low latency and high throughput. S3 intelligent tiering, it will automatically move data between frequent and infrequent access, right? And S3 standard IA, infrequent access. It lower cost than the standard and the data is accessed less often, but needs you can have fast access when required. Okay, and S3 one zone IA, it's like single AZ. Okay, cheaper but less resilient than the multi AZ. And S3 Glacier instant retrieval and Glacier deep archive for archive data, very low storage cost and high retrieval time or cost. You can go to AWS URL and search for the S3 storage classes and you will be getting more in-depth detail over there, just for your understanding and a short notes like I'm just describing all these things. And IAM control access, these all we'll be seeing in our video. Now let's move on to review session. As I'm requested earlier, please subscribe to our channel. Most of the users are watching but not subscribing yet. In your AWS services, in the search bar, search for S3. This will give you the S3 services. Take you to the S3 services and click create bucket. And for now, I just go with the bucket general purpose. Let me go to Mumbai. Now I'm in Mumbai. Okay, my bucket name. What I mentioned, bucket name should be unique. So I'll select AWS hyphen Prashant. Today's date 01/12 01/12/2025. And now I'll be leaving everything as it is, and this is for public access. I'm blocking it for now, and I'll click on create bucket. See, successfully created bucket. View details. Let's go to our buckets. This is our now if I click on buckets, this is our bucket which we recently created. Okay, let's open the bucket does not have any data. Now if you see in our AWS nodes, what I mentioned, a bucket is a container for objects. Now we have a container for our objects and we do not have any object. So let's upload an object. I click upload, add files. Let's upload. I recently created a file for Linux most used commands. I'll upload that and I'll keep everything as it is and I click upload. Uploading. You can see file MB everything. Cool. Let's close this and go back to our buckets. Now this is my bucket which is a container for our object and this is my object. Hope you understood now. We have a bucket which is a container for our objects and the file which we upload is our object, actual object, and the file which we upload is our actual data. Now if you see here, if we want to access let me show you this as well. We created in the Asia Pacific Mumbai region and you can see the size and the last date modified and the type and the key is name and the you open your object URL and everything. Let me copy this object URL and see if I paste in the browser what I'll get. Access denied. Okay, and here we can see storage classes which we discussed. If we click on storage classes, we'll be having multiple type storage classes. We can change whenever we need and we can change it as per our requirement. Now if I go to buckets, let's see our bucket permissions. This is metadata and this is the properties of our bucket. Versioning and all we'll see in a moment. And tags, we can add tags as well. Now this is the permissions. We created a bucket, we added our object, we tried to access our object, we are getting access denied error. Now we will see how to make an object access publicly. It's not like you can add only files or something. In your real scenarios, you will be adding applications or as per your client requirements and your needs. Now if you see block public access, which is set to be on, so let's disable this so that the changes, this will change to access publicly. I'm confirming. I'll click confirm and save changes. Cool. Successfully edited block public access settings for this bucket. Wonderful. Okay, now I'll refresh this page. Still I'm having access bucket, denied access, and you may think I'm using wrong URL or something like. To avoid this, let me recopy this URL and try again. Same error. Okay. Now I click on this bucket and I click on permissions. You can view this by clicking in this directly. It will open in a tab. Open this one. You can view. This is possible, but this can be seen only by me or the persons who will be able to log in with the credentials of mine. Though only can access, others won't be able to. So this is for everyone. Denied. So, okay, let's close this tab. Go back to our bucket. I'll re-click on the permissions. Here you need to understand we disabled access, block access for public access. Bucket policy do not have any. We need to add a bucket policy for this as well. It will be in JSON format. You can just click on add statement, search for S3 and all actions. Let's go for all actions for now, and then simply come down, add resource S3 I want, and S3 all resource. Let's select and click add resources. Okay, now here principal seems to be empty, which means no one will be able to access. So I'll make it everyone. For this I'll put star. This is for everyone. Okay, and resource, let me change the resource as well. S3 all access, add resource, S3 resource type, bucket name. What is our bucket name? AWS hyphen Prashant, today's date 2025 slash star we need to give. Okay, and then add resource. This we can remove. Now let's see save changes, what happens. Yeah, successfully edited bucket policy. We have principal for allow everyone and S3 resource. This is our ARN. I forgot to show. Let me show you that as well. Objects. Let's click on object. There will be an ARN. This we can add it over here. Permissions. In this place we can yeah, this add bucket ARN. This one ARN AWS S3 AWS Prashant 25 and let last store. That's it. And you can, if you are not aware, you can go to policy examples and every read some stuff and for better understanding. Now what we did, we to access our object publicly, we turned off block public access. I mean, which mean we enable the public access, and then we wrote a bucket policy which is set to allow everyone for this bucket or this resource ARN. Now if I refresh this page, I should be able to see. This is how we will set public access. Now you may think that I am using wrong URL. Let me copy the correct, recopy the URL. Copied, new tab, paste it, enter, see. This is how we will give public access. Okay. Now hope you understood how to give permissions for a bucket to access globally. Got it? Cool, wonderful. The second thing, which is versioning. Let me take you to that. Bucket versioning. Versioning is like I can say it will keep multiple variants of an object in the same bucket. Now we have Linux, this bucket name Linux most used commands object, right? If I modify some changes and if I re-upload the same file with the same file name, then it will take it as a version of the previous file and it will use the current one. Okay, let me show you. First we need to enable the versioning. Enable, save changes, successfully enabled, bucket versioning, wonderful. Go to objects, upload a file, add files, select the same one, click open and upload. See, time, everything can be seen, uploaded. Now let's close this one. Go to properties, versioning is enabled, right? Now go to object, click on this object, click on versions. You will see two versions. This was the previous version which we used and this is the current version. Similarly, if I upload the same file again, it will take the new file, not this file. Let me show you that as well. I'll go to bucket, I'll upload a file, I'll add files with the same name and I'll click upload. Now it will move to the recent upload one. Object version C. This is the current version which we recently uploaded. Okay, and this is the previous version. You can see time 5111, 5156, which means this is the latest one. Current version, this is the previous version. You can download, delete, you can do multiple things. And now if I want to delete this thing, see, I can delete these as well. I need to enter permanently delete. Click delete objects. Successfully deleted object. Cool. Let's close. If you see now what happened, can you guess? It will directly goes back to the previous version which was uploaded at 5111. Hope you understood. You getting the point. What we did, we uploaded same file. Let's say we added some lines in the Linux most used commands, or assume it is an application code. Our application was running perfectly when it was initially uploaded. We made some changes and we made some changes to reflect in UI and we uploaded this as well. It is working fine, wonderful. Later what we did, we changed some login prompts or login design web for web UI or something like, and we uploaded that thing. And for some reason it was not working fine, or your client may ask to change or make some corrections on the latest release or something like. In that scenario, or you deleted that, you want to go back, in that scenario you can directly delete or you can move that file, download, copy, and if someone unexpectedly delete that as well, no worries, the previous code will be available and you can start working, or you can re-upload the current code. That's how versioning is used. Hope you understood the version concept as well. Now I would like to tell you the last thing which I would like to, which is cross region. Before that, you may think, what if I upload a different file name? Let me upload that as well for you. Let me see if I have any. Yeah, session 4, which is for Linux. Upload. Now, can anyone tell if this is will be publicly accessible or not? No, wrong. It is accessible globally. Why? Because we given the permissions for entire bucket, not for object. See, this is one. This is how we get it. Hope you understood. Hope you understood how to upload a file, how to access it in the web, how to give public access, and what if we don't give policy for the object, and what happens when the user tries to access it with the URL. And we have seen what is versioning, and we have seen what if I upload the same file multiple times, and we have seen what happens if I upload a different file as well. Now we will see the most important concept, interesting concept I can say, or useful concept for most of our scenarios for backups or something like, which is cross region. Let me show you that properties. Somewhere it will be RBAC, tags, default encryption, intelligent, server access, login, management. Yeah, this one. Replication rules, lifecycle rules. This one, cross replication rule. What we will do, we are in Asia Pacific, Mumbai. We have a bucket and we have two files. Now I'll create a replica set. What happens, whenever I upload a bucket in this bucket, I mean, whenever I upload a object in this bucket, it will also be uploaded in the destination file, destination bucket. Let's assume, let's consider AWS Prashant is our source, and let me create a new bucket in US region. Let me reselect US region and refresh the page just to avoid. Yeah, I'm in US region. Bucket name I give US-PR- Prashant 01 and the date. I'll create bucket. Must contain uppercase. Bucket name must not contain. It should not contain uppercase, it seems. US. Create bucket. Wonderful. Our bucket is created. You can see which is in Virginia and Mumbai. Let's go to our source bucket. Click on the source bucket. Click on management. Replication rules. Create replication rule. Give name for replication. Mumbai to US region replica for Prashant. We enable or disable when we created priority. Source bucket, this is correct. Asia, correct. I'll give it for all the objects in the bucket. Choose bucket. If you have multiple accounts, you can select bucket in a different account by providing the 12-digit account ID, which is this one. For the different account, you can copy account ID of that account and can provide this. In our scenario, I'll go with the same account. I'll select my bucket name. Hmm. Let me refresh. I should get US. Yeah, this one. Choose path. Wonderful. Crazy. Now you need to understand this thing. The limitations, or I can say the rule to use replica is we need to enable versioning in our S3 bucket, which is AWS Prashant. We have enabled the versioning, and we have seen how if we what happens if we upload a object with the same name, and how can we see the versions of that file name and everything. Similar way, this bucket also which we created in the UST East, these also need to have versioning enabled. Let me go back to our permissions and enable the versioning. Where it is, properties, versioning is disabled. Enable versioning, save changes, go back to our bucket. Let's refresh and retry. US Prashant, choose path. It's enable here. You go away from here. Let's refresh and try again. Wait, it's taking cache or something. Yes, versioning is enabled. Let's retry now. Yes, Prashant, choose path. Wonderful. The error has gone. Destination region is US East region and Virginia. I'll create a new role. Let it create a new role. And these all encryption and everything we can select, and additional replication options also we can select. Now let's save this. Yeah, it's enabled. Application time control disabled. Now let's go to our US East region and click on buckets and refresh. You can see two buckets are already here. And now if I click here, nothing is there. If I click here, there are two files. Wonderful. Now what we'll do, we'll go back to our destination source. We click on buckets. We'll upload we'll add files in these two buckets. Add file. Which one to add? Let's add GitHub image. Upload. Upload success. See, in Mumbai region, AWS Prashant bucket we uploaded. I'll close this. I'll go to buckets. I'll try to upload in US East. We don't need to actually, because it should automatically get into this bucket, so we can ignore and you can just see US Prashant GitHub is already came. Because why? Because we haven't uploaded, I mean we set a replica source as this bucket and destination as this bucket. So if we upload in this bucket, it should automatically replicate in this region and in this bucket. So that's what is happening here. If you go to here, Virginia, I'll go here. If I select, I have three files here, and in Mumbai also I have three files here. And if I go here, I have one recent file which I uploaded recently. And if I go back to Virginia, two buckets. If I open this Mumbai bucket, I have three files, and the GitHub, see here it is in region and this file. What if I upload here? Let's see what happens. Add file. Virginia, I had two files. If I go to Mumbai and if I verify this, it should have only one. Okay, cool. It's showing two as well. I can upload there here both ways. But it will show only in the N Virginia, not in Mumbai. If I click here, this is bucket which is replicating in this bucket, right? If I click here, it will take me to Mumbai region and it will show me these things. Three are available here. And if I click, it will take me to US and it will show me two files available. But the thing is, we have to upload in this bucket and it should show in US bucket, which is Shant one. Let's upload some random one here. I'll upload GitLab. I'm uploading in Mumbai. And as per replica rules, it should show in Virginia. See, I can see in Virginia. GitHub PNG and session 4. It has 4. It should also show 4. 3. Correct. We enable version now. Let's see 1, 2, 3. Here 1, 2, 3. This we uploaded previously, right? Cool. And you can access all these things. Object URL, search, browse. Wonderful. Mumbai one is accessible. Let's see Virginia one. Access denied. Why? Because the permissions for the US Prashant regions are not enabled for public access. It was blocked. That's why we are getting that error. Cool. These are the things I thought of explaining you guys today. First thing we have seen what is bucket, then what is object, and then we have seen storage classes. Then we have seen how to upload a file. I mean how to upload an object. And what happens if we directly access the object URL in the web browser. It shows access denied. And then what we did, we tried to enable the public access and then we tried, it's still throwing an error. Why? Because policy has not set. So we have set a policy, we tried, it worked fine, and then we have seen and we come to know what is versioning and everything, how to enable versioning. And later we have seen replication steps, how to replicate Mumbai S3 bucket to US bucket, which means what happens after enabling replica the source bucket, which is AWS Prashant, and destination is US Prashant. And in AWS file, which whatever the object or the file I upload in the AWS Prashant, it should automatically reflect in the US Prashant. That's what happening after replication steps. Cool. That's it from my end today. Hope you understood the session and you enjoyed it. If you have any queries or questions, please feel free to mention in the comment box. I'll try to answer them. And I request you all to subscribe to our channel for more DevOps related videos. It will boost me because I'm putting my effort and making the videos, but most of the viewers are watching but not subscribing to our channel. If you subscribe to our channel, you will be notifying whenever I upload a video or whenever I post something, so that you will come to know whatever I upload in the YouTube channel, and you will be aware of the technologies which are related to DevOps. That's it from my end. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.